Hi, my name's Ed Riggins, but most people just call me Riggo, and welcome to this initial installment in my weekly video series I'm calling Thoughts for Thursday. We're all for something a couple 3 minutes long every week to anybody who thinks it's of value. If you've received this via email or you've come across on social media, then we're already connected in some way. If not and you're intrigued, I hope you'll subscribe or connect. So if you're going to speak, train, coach, the sort of thing I do, I think it's important to start with a pretty solid point of view. So for what it's worth, I thought I'd roll this out with my point of view. And there are really two parts. First part is this. I think it's important for us to notice the gap between stimulus and response. You say something, I say something, you say something, and suddenly I'm set off. Now, if I don't take half a beat and notice that gap, I might not think, it might not occur to me that, wait a minute, maybe what the tone you took that kind of set me off had nothing to do with me. Maybe it had something to do with an encounter you had before we ever got together. If I don't take half a beat to notice that gap, then maybe it doesn't occur to me that, hang on a second, I came into this thing with a problem on my own because I'd had some difficult conversation beforehand. So I think it's a huge step in the right direction toward cutting back on conflict situations, just to take a beat and notice that gap. So that's the first part. Here's the second part, and I think it's just as important. I don't think that gap stays around automatically. I think we have to work to maintain it. Things like hiking, swimming, fishing, something that gets you out of your daily routine are certainly a step in the right direction. If you want to go more deeply, meditation, prayer, an emotional support group, journaling, a therapy session. Maybe you're lucky enough to have a spouse or a friend who's just a great listener. I think these are all great tools to maintain this gap I'm describing. Anything's helpful that brings us back into our bodies, which brings us back to the here and now. Look, we seem to forget, don't we? The here and now is where we always were to begin with. But I make this my second point because I've become convinced that even if you notice the gap, and most of us don't do the work to maintain that, to help us stay focused and live better lives, frankly. Thanks for checking in. Hope to see you back next week. Let me know if I can be of service to you anyway.
Doors closing.